So hey guys, Stephanie here with a very late Top 5 Wednesday with books I didn't finish. And because I am so good at following directions, number one, it's not Wednesday, and number two, it's actually 4 books, not 5. And just to clarify, these aren't books that were due back at the library, like before I was done with them. These are books that I didn't finish. I have no intention of finishing because they just disappointed me or annoyed me that much that I'm just done with them. So without further ado, here we go. So coming in at number 4 is Stephen King's Insomnia. Now this book is about an old man who loses his wife, and I'm sure you can guess from the title, starts sleeping less and less to the point where he is not sleeping at all and is suffering the side effects of sleep deprivation, including hallucinations. But are they really hallucinations? There was a lot I liked about this book. I liked that the protagonist was an old man, and that it followed him around kind of with his hallucinations or abilities. This book had a lot of tie-ins with the Dark Tower series, which I haven't read. Unfortunately, it was just too long and too slow for the stuff that was happening. It just couldn't keep my interest, and I was forcing myself to read. I had not enjoyed it. So I stopped reading and I just kind of read a plot summary of what happens, and I don't regret not finishing it. It's just not something that I would have enjoyed. And coming in at number 3 is Stephanie Meyer's Breaking Dawn. Now, I boarded the Twilight train somewhere in the mid-2000s because my parents said that they didn't like the series and they wouldn't want their kids to read that series. So me, being the teenager that I was, found a way to get to Target and bought the first 3 books in the series and took them on our family vacation to read. So that week, I buzzed through the first 3 books. I really liked it. I waited a little bit. I don't know how long it was before I picked up Breaking Dawn, but by that time, just the thrill and whatever it was that I liked about the first Twilight books had just worn off, and I could not get into this book. So I don't know, maybe I had matured in that span of time. Maybe the thrill of rebellion had just worn off. I don't know, but I just didn't finish it, and I'm not going to. And coming in at number 2 is She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. I picked this book up at a thrift store. It had the Oprah's Book Club seal of approval on it, so I figured somebody liked this book enough to give it that seal of approval. It had an interesting cover. The premise seemed interesting, following the life of Dolores, who was an overweight girl from childhood into adulthood. What I didn't know about this book was that it was basically tragedy porn. And tragedy porn is basically where the author takes one character, or multiple characters, and just throws a bunch of misfortunes at them. And some people like that. It's not my thing. I just didn't like it. A lot of the misfortunes just didn't seem like they happened, I don't know, organically. I just felt like the author, I don't know, had this wheel of torture and just spinned it and was like, what can we do to Dolores today? Let's spin the wheel. How about rape? Okay, how about we kill her parents? Did we already do rape? How about lesbian rape? It was just, I hated it. I couldn't even finish it. It was so... And coming in at number 1, because it annoyed me the most, and because it's the most controversial, a lot of people like this book, is If I Stay by Gail Forman. So there was things I liked about this book. I liked that her parents were in a punk rock band, and that Mia was kind of the conservative, straight-laced character in her family. But she was just, I didn't like her. At one point in the story, she makes a statement that she is so weird because she has like classical records under her bed, which is not that weird of a thing. And it just struck me as I'm not like other girls kind of a phrase. And I just got this vibe and I just hate her. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so weird. I like classic rock. And I watch football. You must think I'm so weird. And then she goes on to have a moment where some guy likes her and she just is like, what? Me? What can he possibly like in me? Oh no, I'm so tall and I have such a slender build and porcelain skin, but what could he possibly like in me? Poor little old me. I just couldn't stand her. If it wasn't on my Kindle, I would have thrown this book across the room. So there you go, guys. So that has been the top 5 books I didn't finish. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you around soon, if I didn't offend you.